So I think we can start. We can continue with your talk, and you have moderate mode. So if you want, you can share your screen. So and to introduce our next speaker, Anthony, we will start with Flutter, and it will be presentation smart health apps with Flutter and Gemini AI. This session will be recorded and shared later at our YouTube channel.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anna. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so what we'll be talking about today. So I'm Atuoha Anthony. I'm a GDE in Flutter and Gemini. What we'll be talking about today will be revolving around smart apps, smart health apps using Flutter and AI. So I know we don't have much time, so we're going to shoot straight to it so that we can get to cover the basics. And so this is more or less like a beginner guide. So this beginner guide is a workshop that was written in free code camp. So I'll be dropping the link after this section. So it's a complete section that was actually written in free code camp with explanations and stuff relating to that. And also the project is on GitHub, so you can as well clone the project and work with it as well. Okay, so getting started with this, let's go over to the next section. So literally, I know very well that when most people join sections, most of them are now aware about Flutter or what Flutter does. So literally, when you join sections that has to do with built with AI and you hear Flutter it can be the first time you're hearing Flutter. It can be the very first time you are coming across the word. So if you go online on a search engine tool you're using or application you're using and type in Flutter, you may actually see a picture of a bird or something relating to that. So Flutter is not a bird actually. It's a UI toolkit that is created and maintained by Google and awesome open source developers as well. And is used for cross-platform development. It works hand in hand with Dart, which is a programming language. So that gives it all of these superpowers it has. This cross-platform utilization, compiling, and rendering apps on your Android phones, on your iPhones, on the web, and stuff relating to that. So all of those awesome features you see is powered by that. So that with like JavaScript, Java, C++, and every other um, programming language you can think of. And let's just get started with it. So just a breeze. And we can't talk about building with AI if you don't know what AI is, literally. So AI is, as we know, the full meaning, artificial intelligence. It's just like giving a machine ability for it to reason like you reason, or even better than you reason, if that's possible. Then what we are trying to build is literally creating smart AI, smart apps using AI, and we are doing it with Flutter. We're going to be doing it with Flutter, and the reason we are doing it with Flutter is because of how fast Flutter is, the rich UI, the fast development, and the whole support that we all know that Flutter gives, and the whole support that we know that Flutter applications and how performant Flutter applications are. So that's the reason we are going to be using Flutter as a case study. That doesn't mean that you can't use something like Kotlin to build this, to utilize Gemini or Vertex AI or whatsoever. No, you can use any of them, literally. You can use Swift UI. You can use even React Native. You can use literally anything you can think of. What is out there is for you to be able to integrate AI into your mobile application. That's all that matters, literally. And it can also be on the web as well. Okay, so trade off the tools. So literally, when you are building smart health applications, you don't just use Gemini, or you don't just use these ones that we know of. There are some other models or trained models that we can make use of, like MedLM. But MedLM is not publicly accessible. Your company needs to send a request for it, and the Google team will give you access to it. It's not like something that is publicly accessible, like Gemini model that we know of. And we have Vertex AI. So literally, building AI or building smart health applications has to do with the model you are using. So we all know that AI, artificial intelligence, is so capable of literally almost anything, but it is capable of anything it is trained with, the data it is trained with. So the same way we have a picture of a computer that if you build, let's say you use C++ or you use Java and build a calculator that can calculate whatsoever you're earning in a month, it can calculate your taxes and calculate your gross and all of that. It can only perform based on the codes you've given to it, based on the codes you've written and the functionality you've given to it. Same goes with AI. So AI can only analyze data, do all of this stuff that we can think of based on the data it is trained with. So that's also like a limitation, but it's not like a limitation, but it's something to like bear in mind also why utilizing all of this. Okay. So Flutter plus AI. So literally for a beginner guide, for you to start making use of AI in Flutter, for a beginner guide, you can start making use of some AI SDKs that are publicly accessible in pub.dev, like Flutter AI Toolkit, Google Generative AI, Firebase Test AI. So literally, the Google team or the accessible that is now in Datpad. So we'll also be looking at it in Datpad as well. So it's so publicly accessible that you don't need to install anything. On your Datpad, you can access all of this literally. So we're going to look at it, and I'm going through the section as fast as I can so that I know that somebody else on this section that is waiting to go on once my time is up. So I wouldn't want to keep the person waiting. So let's go back to the next section. Okay, so we have AI use cases in Flutter. So there are tons of AI use cases actually, tons of them literally. So you can pick up something, you can think of anything. So literally, since Google I/O or before Google I/O, a lot of people have come up with amazing ideas, whole lot of because of what Gemini is pushing, what all of this, how these models are being trained and the capabilities, people are seeing a whole lot of different side of app development now. So literally every single app or every single product that I think I've come across for the last 3 months or last 4 months has an AI feature. Literally almost every of them. So it's very tiny for you to see a product in 2025 that doesn't have any AI feature. I think it's not possible. Even LinkedIn, Canva, almost every of them have an AI feature. Everything they can think of. So AI has no limitations, and the only limitation it has is the trained data and what the model can do, and the model we are using as well, as I mentioned. And in Flutter, we have a whole lot of use cases like medical chatbot, prescription generator, symptom checker, medical image analyzer, but on the health side. So on the health side now. So medical, so a whole lot of this is very, very possible. And I've been privileged to work with, let me give me a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've been privileged to work on Symptom Checker. I've been privileged to work on, oh my, I'm meant to go back. Just a minute. Just a minute. This will stop. Give me a second. Okay, just a second, please. So I've been privileged to work with a few of them. And okay, let's just work with this like this. So I've been privileged to work with a whole lot of them, and every single one of them that you work with, not just on the health side. So although we focus on the health side, but on other angles of or other industries, you see a whole lot of things you can use AI to do, like a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. So there is tons and tons of things you can use AI to do. So it's all about you can think of the business logic, and that's just it. Okay. So the next thing there is optimization. So while you are building AI, what you need to care about or what you need to put in the back of your mind, including when you are building anything you're building, in as much as it's an app, is optimization. I'm building this app, it looks awesome, but another thing that is out there is how am I optimizing it so that there will be good optimization. I won't have to build something and what I'm building is not optimal. It's not performant. So while you're building, you also need to consider some best practices or some performance optimization practices like minimizing your widget builds, using cons, catching your images, avoiding using large widgets in lists, using list builders, co-splitting, lazy loading, and a whole lot of this. So I'm rushing this because I've written a complete article on this. So it's on Free Code Camp. So I'll also drop the link as I mentioned. So that's why I'm like going through this. So you can take your time, go through it. It's more or less like a code lab, but not structured as a code lab, written as an article or a workshop. So you can just go through it. It explains every single nitty gritty. Okay, let's go ahead with this. Then this will take us to us looking at the project you're going to look at today, which is just a medical chatbot, just a very tiny medical chatbot that answers your medical queries, analyzes images for you, and also doesn't just only analyze images for you, analyze the medical files as well. So you can give it a medical file and it will analyze it, and with the good feature that the Flutter team worked on, the particular package they worked on, it can also not just be an app that just renders every query or like answers every query that you give to it. It has a system instruction where you can like restrict it to a particular domain, to a particular industry, like give it a scope of operation. So let's dive straight into this. I'll stop sharing this and start sharing my entire screen. Just a minute. Okay. I'll start sharing my entire screen in a minute.